Welcome to Tuesday Night Live, and I apologize for being late. Technology, my goodness, the thing that holds this entire world together, totally let me down. Suffice it to say, things on the back end that is a server address and every other address known to man apparently failed completely because the numbers were the same.
I like to think that usually when I think technology let me down, I let it down too. So it's cool.
We're equally disappointed in each other for some reason. I have no idea why. Kevin Myers over in the Facebook group. We've got someone watching on one of our other ones, so we're in good stead. Let's see Kevin? Here. So, Aaron, what is the single most exciting thing that we have going on within Mechanic Alliance right this very second?
Well, that's subjective, but probably top-down scan tools.
That's right. Mechanic Alliance is now your top-down one-stop shop for everything top-down. We can get you their entire product line, top to bottom, left to right, A to Z. You name it, you want it. We can get it for you. Just email me, Aaron, Marv, Dave. We can all get you hooked up in the right place. Or, Bobby and the rest of our admins. Who else we got today? Oh, Chaz can also point you to us if he needs to. So any one of us, just ping us. Say, hey, I want top-down stuff. I'm waving money. What's that name with Fry? Shut up and take my money.
And the best thing about if there's some great retailers out there, not just us, but with Mechanic Alliance, you get free training with every tool purchase. So pretty great deal.
All the way down to the jump packs? You're going to teach us how to use those things?
All the way down to the jump packs.
Hey, I've got one of those. We already got that training covered. You don't have to worry about it. Done.
If you buy a top-down jump pack and you need some help setting it up, we'll help you.
Hey, the instructions are pretty straightforward. Hold in one hand, insert clips into another, clip to battery. Make sure you have the connections correct.
Well, if you don't, you already missed a step. You got to charge it up first. So maybe
it's a lithium battery. It has enough charge right off the bat to do at least one.
But yeah, we're pretty excited. I love the tool. I have the Phoenix Max, the flagship tool. I had the Phoenix Plus previously and was incredibly happy with that tool. It's like my go-to tool. Snap-on scan tool pretty much stays in the box nowadays. The top-down just does more. It just has better bidirectional controls, much better European coverage, which is my specialty, and wireless also. I didn't have the wireless version of the Snap-on tool. So being Bluetooth.
You're not tripping over wires.
Yeah, you're not tripping over wires, you're not slamming them in car doors. Like, it's just better.
Oh, man, there goes the entire market for new cables. Jeez.
So
I tell you,
them
Bluetooth wires are tougher.
I have another 4-channel lab scope, which you can never have enough, right? So, and also right now, the promo that we're running, if you buy the Max, you get 3 years of updates.
Least 3.
I don't know if you guys have shopped scan tool updates lately, but pretty much everybody runs about $1,000 to $1,500 a year.
That is nuts.
Yeah. And top-down's prices are better on updates. If you want to know about extending updates past your purchase, they're much better priced than that, I can tell you. Depending on how many years you buy at a time, you can save some money, but definitely a better priced, high-performance tool than you can get from a tool truck for sure. And I've bought the tool truck scan tools, and they're good tools, but save that money if you can, fellas.
Oh boy. Part of what being a Mechanic Alliance is we're out to help, get you guys more money. Yeah. But part of that is also not spending the money that you have.
Absolutely. Save you some. Because honestly, had I known how good the top-down Phoenix Plus was going to be, I don't think that I would have ever bought the Snap-on scan tool I have right now. Honestly, I wouldn't have made that purchase and saved a lot of money.
Can you sell it?
I can, and I probably will. Now that I have the Max, I liked it because it had a built-in scope. I'm a big advocate for using a lab scope, which was handy, but I have the Max now, which has a 4-channel scope. So once I really get a feel for that tool, I haven't had it that long, then I will probably unload the Snap-on. Just be done with it.
Honest question, and this is something that I don't understand because everything I play with has carburetors. You're watching live data as well as the lab scope, or is that like 2 separate screens? You can't do both at the same time.
You can't do both at the same time.
Oh, darn. You can tell if the computer's lying to you right off the bat.
Yeah. So which is another reason it's a good idea, guys, to own two scan tools if your scope is built into one. Like I could stream some data with a scan tool and then also scope a signal on the Topdon. In my case, also having additional lab scopes, I can do both at the same time. Like you said, doing it from one tool is not a feature in the Max, at least that I have not been able to unlock yet. It may be in there, and my user level still being novice hadn't figured it out yet. But as soon as if I figure that out, you'll be the first to know.
We'll figure it out, and I don't think there's anybody out there that can do that yet. I want to see live data plus whatever we're bringing in from external sources that may or may not be on that car. Because
that'd be awesome. That would be cool.
Totally screw with your friends. Move the Bluetooth dongle to the other car and start it running, and then you're scoping.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
Just how do you mess with mechanics? I mean, we want to avoid flying tools, and especially flying expensive tools like that.
Yeah, I've thrown some stuff in my youth, but probably trying real hard not to throw a scan tool.
Yeah, we want to try and avoid that.
Sure. Yep. But it's exciting. Topdon's been awesome. Their customer service is good. When you call them, somebody answers the phone. To me, I've said it before, but that's worth something to me. I don't have an 18-digit, can't get a hold of somebody. They don't speak the same language that I do problem. A person answers the phone and they help you. And if you run into some issues with their software and you submit a support ticket, they follow up really promptly. And they're really doing it right. And that's ultimately why we partnered with them, because they do it right. We want to do it. We want all you guys to be able to do it right and without spending a fortune. So
we want to bring you the very best tool that we possibly can. Yeah. Devin asks an interesting feature. Can the Autel Elite do split screen scan data lab scope at the same time? Thought that was one of its big features.
I think that the Ultra and only the Ultra can do that. So they have similar models, but the big boy, I believe, can do some split screen, but I don't know about the other models. I've only done it on an Ultra.
So that's like good, better, best, even better, can't get much better, elite, ultra. Maybe you can improve on it.
I think Ultra is their top dog. I'm not an Autel expert, but I think that's kind of their flagship tool. So
Devin says that's what I meant. Ultra with an asterisk.
Yeah. I believe that's the big draw to the Ultra. It'll split screen, and you can do part scope, part scanner. Pretty cool feature. Maybe Topdon.
Split screen data. That's what we want.
Or just tell me how to do it so that I can stop telling people that it doesn't do it if it does.
That's true. That's true. We're all about good information, and if we don't know, we're going to do the best we can to find it till we and let you know what we actually come across.
Yep.
So another interesting feature, since we have Captain Training Amazing himself here, tell us about. Whoa, things are going on in your background. You're like, at least we can see my background. You're turning around like, huh? It's like that data trace to your right is, is it moving? Is it not moving? Is he part of the waveform? So how has the lab scope classes been going? I know you're on, I believe this is the third go around.
Yes, it has been incredible. It's so much fun. It's fun for me because I really nerd out on this stuff. So naturally I'm having a great time. I think the students are having fun. If they're not having fun, they're not telling me they're not having fun. So they're having fun.
A complaining sailor is a happy sailor, to keep the language, family friendly.
I got an email today from a student who was using some techniques we had talked about and found a bad spark plug without having to really gut a car. And I was like, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like when I get feedback from students, that makes me feel like the time was well spent, and that they at least made their job easier. Because at the end of the day, we train to get better at our job, but getting better doesn't mean you have to necessarily change the way you're doing something. It can maybe not necessarily wrong, not change the way you're doing something. It can make a process that you had normally understood easier. Mm-hmm. A lot of lab scope techniques are things that we all know how to do. It's just maybe we can do it faster. Maybe we can do it more efficiently. Maybe we can do it with better documentation and more without taking stuff apart, less intrusive into the car. I like to know as much as I can before I have to nut and bolt and drain fluid and do stuff. And so a lot of LabScope practical techniques help us to do those things with, pulling timing cover off or pulling an intake off to get to check for sparks. So
Yeah.
I love hearing from students about that stuff. And if any other students are watching, you get some cool stuff, just send me a message, an email or something. It makes my day. So, but I think it's been a great time. Students are loving it. We're working on a bunch more classes going forward, and I'm pretty excited about that. Some of them are going to be specific to Topdon for our purchasers, because when you purchase a tool from Mechanic Alliance, you get free training, right?
We want to make sure that you know how to get the most out of this thing.
Yeah. So, some of those classes we will cater to the tools that we are selling. That way, you don't just buy it and have, because when Topdon came out, that's what I did. I had heard it was a good value. Some people I respected a lot spoke highly of it. I had never seen one. I never had my hands on one, and bought one and just kind of had to wing it. And it honestly, it's an intuitive tool. It wasn't that difficult for me, but we want everybody that gets one of these tools to have access to some quality training and get them up and running fast with it. So that's
all right. It looks like we're experiencing technical difficulties all over the place. Travis Shower pings me from the YouTube side. Don't get many of those. Kevin's over there too. Facebook is down as a heads up. Huh. Wow, that's interesting.
I guess we roll with it.
The Bermuda Triangle of everything here. I'm still getting comments on the Facebook group. Hey, somebody in the Facebook group, drop a comment saying the feed's okay. Please, let me know. It's been a weird night.
What if I can look on my phone while we stream, if that'll screw us up?
As long as the volume's down, we won't get that awkward 7 to 10 second delay where it's we're hearing ourselves talk. As long as the volume's down, we won't get that.
No, we're there. It's rolling.
Hey, deja vu, the feeling or sensation you've said or done something before.
Yep, we're live.
Oh, we are live. Hey, listen to myself while I'm live.
Big shout out. My friend Ivan's watching. Awesome guy I work with.
Nice.
What's up, Ivan?
Let's see here. Devin picked up the MS919.
Nice. 919 solid.
Watching SMA and Scanner Danner. Only ever use Snap-on Modus Virus scanners. Nothing wrong with those.
No,
truthfully, the only scanners I've ever used is a Bluetooth app on my phone or a Snap-on. And
Snap-on makes good tools. They make a good scan tool. Do they make the best value scan tool? I don't think anybody's going to tell you that.
Does Snap-on make the best value anything?
Probably not.
Oh, I like the way it was dead silence there for a minute as we think about it.
I was like running it through my head like, no.
Although, this is total tool sidebar from everything. The brand that's actually surprised me is Skill.
Like Skillsaw?
Yeah, like Skill, the brand SKIL.
I thought they went under or something.
Well, because I don't have the funds to step up to Milwaukee like almost everyone else does, because Milwaukee's are expensive. I picked up a new drill, and it was a Skill brand, and holy crap, that thing's surprisingly good. It outperforms my old DeWalt.
I've had the same Mac drill for like 5 years because it's the same as a DeWalt, and I have a friend who's got a friend who rebuilds DeWalt, and I take my Mac and he is able to rebuild it. So been using the same one for a long time.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, that's intrinsic value. That's keeping the stuff you have alive so that it works.
In my opinion, the key to sustaining anything is to not buy new stuff and just make the stuff you have keep working.
That is true.
So I drive a 2005 Acura.
Well, my family haulers an 05 Yukon, the Tow Pigs an 06 Duramax. My 1985 Buick Regal still doing okay.
Keep your mechanics employed. Keep them going. Don't have to buy a new one.
Absolutely. Have you looked at the price of new cars lately?
Yeah.
The used car market's freaking nuts too.
Well, there's not even a lot of new cars to be bought. You may not be able to get what you want, even if you wanted a new one. So
this is true. Now, I'm in a small town. Small. It's growing at an extremely rapid pace. There is one car dealership. It's a kind of an all makes. They've got GM, they've got Ford, they've got Chrysler, all under one roof. It's kind of a weird one. But the number of vehicles that they have on that lot, years ago, it used to be like, packed wall to wall. Now, if you spot, more than 15, it's a high inventory day. There's a couple of Buicks, there's a couple of the new Broncos that are so popular, and a couple other things. And it's like, where's the cars?
Yeah. Yep, it's bad. It's getting bad, but that's good for us, right? Because in this economy, people don't have a choice sometimes but to repair their car. The one they want to buy may not be an option for them, and they'll keep, conventionally people who may have traded at 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, hang on to another year and do some repairs, and that's how we pay the bills. So
yeah, very true.
Probably really good for us, honestly.
It's kind of forcing all those cars that may have been questionable to now get fixed up and get pressed back into service.
I've fixed some cars that I would have probably deemed unfixable or not worth it, and to the customer it is, so we fix them. So,
and value is such a subjective thing. Sure. Like Absolutely. What I deem valuable is different than what somebody else deems valuable. Heck, I'll throw lots of money into a crusty old G body, and everyone else is like, why the heck would you do that? Because it's mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. So yeah.
Says the guy who owns how many square bodies is he willing to admit to?
Look, man, that's not. I'm not. This is being recorded, so
you can neither confirm nor deny the presence of any square bodies.
Like if we're talking parts and everything cumulatively, that's not even a number I want to talk
about. So. Oh, let's see here. Oh, we have some entertaining comments. Zach Zelenak says he hates spending money. No kidding. Devin Richards says he hates saving money.
Maybe they should get married.
That's a little weird. But okay, today's society, we're just going to go with that.
2022, yin and yang, right?
I'm just going to leave that right there. Devin says, least my spending isn't on completely stupid stuff. We know, Devin. And we understand the need that every once in a while you just have to spend
sometimes you got to buy tools, guys. Sometimes you got to buy tools. I wish, it's one of those things I really wish our industry wasn't so tech tool driven. But it is.
This is true.
We got to buy tools. It's just part of the gig sometimes. It's changing slowly. I see more and more shops talking about they provide all testing and diagnostic equipment, and some shops are even providing like basic stuff. So that's cool. It's progressive, and I appreciate that. But it's too late for me.
Yeah, totally understand. I mean, I can see how someone who's doesn't have the incredible amount invested in their toolbox to totally go into a situation like that and really come out the other end in good standing. But the other issue that comes up is in the event that you have to, hashtag roll that box, you may find yourself being a little bit behind on the tool side. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, it's fantastic there are owners out there that do that. But by the same token, there is, given that most of the industry is a bring your own tool kind of thing.
Yep. It's one of those, it'd be great for a young guy, but I would also hate to see somebody get stuck at a shop they're unhappy with because they weren't tooled up enough to quit. That stinks. So.
Oh, by the way, your comment wrinkled Zach's nose. He says, WTF, that was weird, Aaron. Cool. Devin replies, so Zach, what you doing later?
sometimes you see things and you think, oh, that might work out, Maybe not.
Oh, we're just moving right along. We're gonna hear about that one later, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even want to check the admin chat yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that either.
Yeah.
We have a Mechanic Alliance admin chat that goes on behind the scenes, and there are some people, and some people get brought up, and it's like, whoa, okay, that was interesting. And there's also the unofficial, we're not even sure it exists chat. It neither exists nor doesn't exist. It's in a weird space. So,
I can't confirm nor deny if I'm in any chats.
Zach says he's probably watching some Oscar Labscope classes later. Hey, hey, whatever floats your boat.
Sharp
rising tides, raise all ships, boats.
Sharp guy. Oscar's a sharp guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you can tell, our normal Tuesday Night Live kind of fell through. This was thrown together at the last minute. Marv is off. He's taking care of family things. His wife is having some dental work, and we all know that's not fun. So we're just kind of here filling in the void, talking about whatever the heck comes up. So if you have anything you want to talk about, just drop it in the comments. We'll make sure we bring it up, and I can always grab the Viking hat. Speaking
of tools, though, we may want to mention the guest appearance. It's the 30th. Yes. We're gonna have Hakan and Chad from Top Don on Tuesday Night Live.
Yep.
So any questions that I may fail miserably on that can't be answered, they'll be the subject matter experts for the nation will be on with us on the 30th. And these guys are both incredibly sharp, diagnostic brains, been around the scan tool game, been around the training game. They know this stuff and they know their product. And so we're excited to get them on here and let you guys just blast them with questions.
Oh, absolutely. Come prepared. I think they're going to do a little bit of the song and dance of, hey, this is the entire Top Don line.
Yeah.
I would expect us to.
Like, we have the entire line. We're running the special right now with the Max, but there's great deals on all the Top Don tools. They're all a tremendous value, and they do. I mean, the ADOS system is awesome. Hakan made a post about the ADOS system today. It looked super, super cool. If you guys are thinking about getting into ADOS, it's coming, and there's going to be a time pretty soon, maybe some of you shop owners or you guys that want to do mobile work, that you're not going to be able to avoid it much longer. I was working on a 2016 Ford today that had it, a 6-year-old truck that had it on a Ford. So pretty normal.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's going to be a time really soon where shops, it's kind of like, when electronic fuel injection came out, some people avoided it, and then they either got with the times or got out of the business. And that's how ADOS is going to be. It's going to become so normal that if you're doing alignments, you're doing chassis work, you're doing suspension, you're programming anything, you're going to have to get on board with this tooling. And so Top Don has a great system. And if you have a Top Don scanner, you have a crucial part of that equation too. So
you're like halfway there practically. No, they've got everything.
So for any of the systems that work, whether you go with the Autel or the John Bean or whatever, the Bosch, one of their proprietary scan tools is also required for the calibration. So the Phoenix line from Top Don works with their system. So if you already happen to have one, you're already saving some money to stay on brand with them. Yeah, get an ADOS system from Mechanic Alliance.
And just to put it out there, I mean, we're not going to say that any one of these is a bad value, because when you're aiming at the things that do all that, you really can't get a bad one.
Yeah.
So they're all good in their own way.
Yep. If you're not doing programming, the Phoenix Remote is going to be right up your alley if you need to get into programming and you don't want to. If you guys aren't doing programming in your shops, it's a big can of worms. Every make and model is different. Sometimes you need different computers, different hard drives, different partitions, different licensing, different VSPs, all this stuff. And if you just want to not have to call a subcontractor, get on board, give us an email. We'll talk to you about the Phoenix Remote. It's really affordable and can get you doing a bunch of that stuff without calling your local guy that comes around and does that. Most bigger cities have a guy, or you can become the guy and go around and do that.
So what does the remote do different than the Max? Or is the Max just, it does it all and the remote is just occupies?
The remote allows a third party. So you still have to go through a third party, but they allow somebody to sort of remote program. So without having the necessary hardware, the OEM validated hardware and stuff in-house, you can contact somebody through the internet that doesn't have to physically come to your shop, and they can program a PCM, do the things that you need to do without the investment in hardware for you and all of the licensing and fees and stuff. They charge a fee. And so it's probably ultimately going to be cheaper than your local subcontractor, but also more efficient, save you some base space, save you some time, and offer extended services to your customers for a pretty reasonable price. Do you have? I had the price list pulled up for it, but it's a good deal.
Yes. So maybe that's something Mechanic Alliance should look into doing. Nudge, nudge.
Sounds good.
Okay. We'll get Zach to do it. He's over here telling us to make it more interesting. I told him, no, we cannot.
No.
So, hey, Zach, come do our programming. We'll let you in on that.
Yeah.
We'll see what he says to that.
It's coming. Programming is going to it's just like ADAS. Everything is so normalized. You know, in dealers, they're doing this stuff daily. Like every car gets a PCM update, software update, whatever it may be. It's just the way of the world that's going to keep working, and it's not going to change. So if you guys want to stay relevant, programming and ADAS are going to be part of your toolbox, essentially. Hopefully your shop owners are buying your ADAS systems because they're not that cheap, but it's coming. What do you need, Zach? What do you want us to be? What do you want? What's interesting to you?
Well, Devin wants Zach to get on the stream and make it more interesting.
Yeah, why isn't Zach on here? Come on.
Well, I had him lined up, but I kicked him off for Top Don.
Nice.
And then he said sometime in September. So
he's opening a shop soon. He's going to be a busy man.
Yeah, he's got to nail down a date for me.
Yeah.
Not that kind of date, you weirdos.
You said it.
Can't trust any of you. Let's see here. Devin says he's been turning down a good bit of alignments lately due to not having stuff for ADAS.
Yep. It's true.
It's coming.
If you take the time to read the service information, which you probably did, Devin, that needs to be calibrated when you do a lot of suspension and even some body work adjustment. Like a lot of that stuff needs to be calibrated every time. And I'm not going to be left holding the bag for not doing the repair correctly when somebody's car steers itself into the ditch. That ain't, it's just no juice ain't worth the squeeze for an alignment. And if you're doing a lot of that kind of work, and that kind of work is profitable, you're going to have these systems. It's just going to become it's going to become as normal as a scan tool in shops. It's going to be everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And that's only going to take the cost of an alignment and bump it up, because now that's more systems you have to touch. That's more systems you have to get right. Yeah, and it's probably not going to be like a canned pricing either, because every make and model has their own unique requirements for that stuff, and sometimes it can take a half a day. That's pretty intense work, which is profitable. So you can make it profitable. Let's just say you get $150 shop hour or $150 an hour shop rate by 4 hours. That's $600 in shop time alone.
Yep.
Plus anything else that you have to charge for the alignment.
Yep. That's a revenue generator for you shop owners too. Revenue generators. Give us a call. We'll get you the top down setup and get you rolling. Yeah, Zach's telling me the stream keeps cutting out for him. Devin switched. I want to say Devin switched to 480, so we look like something out of a Minecraft game. For any of you guys that have kids that play Minecraft, you know what I'm talking about. Everything is square, and So it looks like our stream is really doing wonders tonight. We're here for you. We're here. Well, you picked the nerdiest guy to get on here with you. Like us. But do you think between the two of us we could figure out what's going on? Yeah. Let's see here. Zach messages me. It's bad when I get messages on my phone, which is connected to the charger, which is another funny thing I'll get to in just a minute. Zach says the TNL keeps cutting out. I think it's him. Well, he's got bad internet at his house. But he just got Starlink. I don't know what that is. It's Elon Musk's Wowie Zowie super high end. It's not supposed to like the satellite, the portable mobile. That's the one. Is it that good? Does it work well? Apparently it's working better than what I've got right now. I can hear you loud and clear. So yeah. I think it's Zach. It's a Zach problem. We've had several comments. Oh, Kevin Myers on the Facebook page. 720 it cuts for him, and he has a gigabit connection. Which is different than a Chia Pet connection. Because if you have a Chia Pet connection, you're stuck in 1991? 4, I think. 4? Wow. So, on an interesting side note, with cars becoming more and more electronic,
it's a good thing that we don't treat them like, our phones and let them stay on for weeks at a time before we restart them. Because just imagine the software headaches that would make on the roads. Oh, crap, my car's steering to the left for no apparent reason. Got to pull over and restart the computer.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've fixed cars by essentially turning them off, doing a battery reset. Well, I mean, hundreds of times I've fixed cars that were doing weird stuff by turning them off and turning them back on. I don't know why. And the answer that I got, I talked to an engineer about it one time, and he said the exact same thing. I said, why does this work? Like, why can't we why does this have to be a thing? And he said, your phone ever get glitchy and you turn it off? Yeah. I said, well, same thing. I don't know why. It just does. It makes it better. But it fixes cars all the time. I had a car 2 weeks ago that a GS did a fuel injection service on, went on the test drive, and the AC stopped working. Like, blower motor not blowing, not turning on at all. And of course, the customer was waiting. And battery reset fixed it. Don't know why. No data, no faults, no rhyme or reason. Battery reset fixed it. It fixes cars. So,
and that's just disconnect, reconnect.
I give it a few minutes, but yeah, fixed it.
Fair enough. So Kane Dixon joins us. Hey, Kane. He says he sees graphs. He needs to start over. Don't worry, you didn't miss too much, except for the amazing news that Mechanic Alliance is now distributed for TopDon, as you can see in the ticker below, or maybe you can't because it's so glitchy. But either way, I'm just going to say it again. But Mechanic Alliance is now a distributor for TopDon, all your TopDon needs. Come
Every
see us.
scan tool comes with free training. Don't forget that.
Every scan tool comes with free training, and I even have a YouTube video on how to use the jump packs. So we've even got that covered. Yes.
Yep.
I can.
Yep. Next on my list is their battery charger programming power supply. I've got stellar reviews. I don't have it in my hands yet, but soon when I recover from purchasing the Max, I will.
As soon as your wallet says you can breathe again.
Yeah. As soon as it gets over that little smack, I'll have it.
No, I don't know how much the battery chargers are worth.
They're not cheap.
They're not
cheap. The 100 amp programming power supply is it's not cheap, but none of those are. None of the tools that can do that sustain a clean 100 amps for programming are cheap. That's not a cheap game to play.
100 amps for programming. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen them pull 100. Yeah. You wouldn't believe some of these cars, how many amps they draw, just key on, everything off when you're going through a programming sequence.
Goodness.
Yep.
So that would be like every possible thing is running all at once.
So a lot of times as it goes through its sequence, that's literally what happens. Like, it has to turn on and validate like pretty much every circuit in the car almost simultaneously. And you can watch if you're watching, most of the programming power supplies will have a amperage draw telling you what its output is, and it gets high. It gets high. Forever we used 60 amp, and then a few years ago they were like 60 is not enough anymore. You need 100 amp power supply. Happens all the time.
Steve Lemley says, I don't like how all vehicles have too much electronic controls. It's going to cause many people dying. Wait until someone hacks it like the movies. Well, totally possible. So
believe it or not, that's a thing that's been going on for a little while now. It doesn't you don't see it in our markets as much because people who are that crafty with stuff like that have probably softer targets than stealing your Silverado.
True. But
it can be done. Unfortunately, it can be done right now with a pretty savvy computer hacker can hack the CAN bus and tell your car to turn itself on and drive. So
yeah. And he says, say something wrong about the government. Canceled. You don't get to drive today.
No comment on that one.
Yeah, neither here. I need to keep my job, so I have to remain neutral.
Yep. But it's the amount of control that some of these audio manufacturers have. You remember Hurricane Harvey?
Yes.
So I live in Harvey Central. And a lot of the Teslas, that was an add-on feature, was extended range. And and Tesla, you had to pay for the extended range in your car. And during Harvey, a bunch of people were evacuating the area to get away from the flooding. And Tesla, like via satellite, gave them free extended range. So their car drove further than it should have for free because Tesla was just trying to help people get out of town.
Free extended range for a car they already paid for.
Yeah. So there was an upcharge for extended range, and they didn't. If you didn't want to pay it, you didn't have to pay it. But when they were using their vehicles to evacuate, the people at Tesla decided to sort of give them the range for free, so that hopefully they could be safe and get out of town. It's already there. Wow. It's already happening.
Yeah, Ashley Joe Bloom just joined us. Hey, Ashley, welcome to the show. It's an interesting, weird night. If you've got something you want us to talk about, drop it in the chat.
Actually, Joe, you guys ready for a Topdon Phoenix Max?
Yeah, or a shop full of them.
4 of them. You just shoot me.
We'll get you hooked up. So, yeah, in case you missed it, Ashley, Mechanic Alliance has the ticker, which if your connection is bad or my connection's bad, if the connection's bad somewhere, you may not be able to read those white words drifting across the bottom. It's the Mechanic Alliance is now distributor for Topdon, and it comes with
free training for every scan tool.
Free training. I need a bell that I can ring every time.
So currently,
free training.
The package we've got right now is if you do buy the Phoenix Max, you get 2 vouchers for training. So 2, and those are not they're not restricted to. We should tell you. If you, like, for instance, if you own a shop and you say, hey, I've got 2 free trainings, you don't have to take a specific thing. If you have a C-level technician, you want him to take an electrical course, cool, put him in that. If you just want to get familiar with your new Topdon Phoenix Max lab scope, we'll have that too. Those are yours to choose from. It doesn't have to be like specific to the tool. They're just training vouchers that you get with the tool.
Fantastic. Ooh, I just minimized the wrong tab because things are going all over the place. Maybe it's my computer. Maybe I should restart it.
You'll be all right.
After the show. I'll let it go another week before I restart it.
I try to do it every day. It seems to make a difference.
Daily restarts. You mean proper maintenance?
No. I didn't say that.
We can't do that. Let's see here. Don't forget that if you pay for all those extra features and sell it, those features do not go to the next owner. Yeah, we've beat that horse a few times.
Yeah,
it's probably dead by now, unfortunately. And I think that a few of the automakers are at least paying some attention to the backlash of consumers.
I think the consumer backlash is making them real and maybe reconsider some of that stuff. I understand that, yeah, sure, you don't want to pay if a customer doesn't want to pay for a feature, it probably actually saves them money in the manufacturing process instead of stopping at some point and not installing or installing a feature just for the sake of efficiency and time. Every car gets every feature and then the customer picks what they want. That probably saves them some money down the road.
And I've heard stories of wiring harnesses being the same. You just have to, I need the cruise control. Tunk, done.
I've definitely installed some add-on features in cars that were pre-wired for them over the years. Like OEM add-on features that the harness was the same. It just had to be plugged in and programmed appropriately and coded and initialized and calibrated.
Oh. So Devin Richard just noticed the PSI peaks on the in-cylinder waveform behind you. Is that a diesel?
It's not. It's not a diesel.
What is it from?
So what you'll notice right here is you can't really see it, but the zero line is like a 64 PSI offset from the zero. So
okay.
It's about
the bottom of the screen somewhere about 74.
About 60.
Well, I mean, it's hiding behind your name.
It's technically zero, so take 244 and subtract 60 something.
So it's like 180, give or take.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I just thought it'd make a cool background. But it's one of those things when you're testing, you got to pay attention to if the tools, you can still use your readings, but if your tool, for instance, wasn't zeroed and 0 is showing something, you have to do the math. But good eye, 244 would be pretty high running.
Good dynamic compression.
Yep.
He was going to say 245 to 250 is a pretty healthy engine.
Yeah, pretty healthy. Running, pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this was a not healthy engine, but it was a timing issue, not a compression issue directly. So
cam timing or ignition timing?
Cam.
So, okay, honest question. How does that in-cylinder compression testing, how does that work? How does the transducer fit in the equation? I'm assuming it's running like it's supposed to, like you've got a standoff on a spark plug and something in a hole.
You've seen a conventional compression gauge in a spark plug hole.
Uh-huh.
Same thing, but you put it, instead of a gauge, you put a transducer there.
Okay, so you just crank it and that's what you get.
So this is running. You can crank it or run it. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's more accurate because you don't get the pumping effect like with a gauge. You just get the
count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. Okay. So I haven't done a conventional compression test in a real long time because this is just more accurate. But yep, just like you would do a traditional. I use a steel braided instead of like the rubber hose.
Yeah.
For the sake of accuracy, but yep.
So is it just running a cylinder down at that point because there's no spark plug in it?
Yep.
Oh, so it's just got a wicked miss.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's a 4-cylinder, you really miss. Yep.
8s, it's like, it's just down a cylinder. It's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
They run on 7 all the time.
Yeah, I drove one on 7 for like 4 years one time.
I found out my mid 12-second car goes 1390s on 7.
Yeah.
When I broke a rocker stud, 2 rocker studs.
I had a Silverado that got much better mileage when it was running on 8 instead of 7.
I'm sure, but what was the cause of its running on 7? Was it broken parts, or was it just wasn't firing?
Yeah, it just had a burnt spark plug wire.
Oh, just nothing. You just open the hood at night and little fireworks display. Wasn't the giveaway?
A little tick. It sounded cool.
You had the Lopey cam tune in there.
Yep. Hot rod. It was a hot rod. No, it's a bad truck. But yeah, it's in cylinder is pretty cool. If you want to know more, I guess you'll just have to take the lab scope class.
I get to edit all your videos. I get to take it anyways. Done.
Damn, I thought I had you on that one.
Yeah, almost. I also manage the back end of the site, so either way, I can get to it. There's ways. Anyways, guys, I think we're just kind of grasping at straws, killing time here. Anything else you want to talk about?
I feel great. Anybody got a question? Anything we can answer for you while you're here? We're here for you. Really just want to get on and yak about Top Done, how pumped I am. I love the tools.
Top done.
It's great to get a good tool, but it's great to get a good tool that's a great value. Like,
absolutely.
Like, when you buy like a super expensive tool, you really want it to work well. But when you buy a really affordable tool and it also really works well, it makes you feel good.
It's like I bought a inexpensive electric ratchet. It came to me on Father's Day, and I had kind of picked it out on Amazon ahead of time. I wasn't about to, say, hey, let's go spend the huge money on the Milwaukee. So I picked out this nice Chemo branded. It's green, not like, chemotherapy, but KIMO. And the reviews were, this is typically the best value of an inexpensive electric ratchet out there. By golly, they weren't wrong. It's a good tool. Is it Milwaukee? No. But it does the job.
Yeah. Makes you feel good, getting a good value. That's what we're stoked about it, and gotten a lot of positive responses. Everybody that I know that's using a Top Don scan tool regularly loves it. So,
yep. Devin says he'd never heard of Top Don before Zach brought him to MA and started talking about it. Yeah, I didn't know about Top Don until I started doing stuff with Mechanical Eye. It's like, Top Don, what the heck's that?
Yeah, they've only been around a few years.
2017 is when they started, not that long.
Yep.
They've grown like crazy, so that's a good omen.
We're going to grow with them.
All right, let's see here. Travis says, is the Max the only one to have the oscilloscope? Yes. You gotta go for the gusto on that one to get all the features.
Yep.
Travis says he drove a slant 6 for 5 months, or on 5 cylinders for a month, and it ran fine. It's because it's a Chrysler. They'll always run. They just never run right. You didn't
So if you're driving a Chrysler, you're just used to it running bad. That's just
it's just what they do. They may run forever. They'll just never run right.
I think this was a Chrysler right here. I can't remember. We had a bunch of these. I think this was a Chrysler.
All righty, guys. I think we're going to end it off here and save ourselves a little bit of humiliation. No, we're doing good. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Next week, I'll be off, so good luck with that, Marv. So he's going to have someone that's in the chat bleachers who may or may not still be with us, a wonderful shop owner, and they're going to be talking about all the great things
awesome.
going on.
I'm stoked for that one. They do great stuff.
Gee, thanks, Zach. Is it still boring? No, it's still boring. You kidding? This is the best show ever. What are you talking about? This is quality entertainment. Can you believe
you got what you paid for?
Didn't pay much, I hope. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.